Today is October 12th, 2023. How do I make a trade? I make a trade by looking at the chart and identifying a setup. And then I enter. After I enter, I look to see, I immediately set a stop loss. And then I look to see how the trade is unfolding. And then when the trade is reaching to the point where it's going towards a stop loss, I can say to myself, I'll just exit. I can just exit that trade. Or if it's moving up and then it's reaching a certain point where it's below my limit, and the chart is attempting to reverse, creating a reversion, then I can exit the trade. So that's how the trade is made. Simple, okay? The reality of that trade is that there's impacts of my inability to think of what the variables are involved in, and whether it's in the morning and when I'm on the front side or the back side. So what are the issues? What are the issues of not being able to get in the right trade? Okay, what are the things that causes me to be on the other side of the trade? Okay, so the first part is I get in, the setup is good, but it just reverses, and so that is the second part that I need to be aware of. Okay, which is just exit. Or the first part, the thing that I see is really not what I'm seeing. It's really not the setup that I'm supposed to be seeing, and therefore I need to exit. It's something, or it's that the confluences that I was counting on is really not the confluence that is supporting the idea of the thesis that I have. Okay, those are the things that are causing my trades to be incorrect. Now, how do I get out of that trade? So how do I get out of trade? So I have to have, in order for me to get this thing on a long-term basis, relying on the fact that when I make a selection of the stock, then there is a probability that a substantial loss can occur if, and it does, and when my trade is incorrect, will take my trades. So I have to have a couple things in my mind to say, okay, at this point, the stop loss needs to be set because I'm a professional. I know what happens if the trade does not go my way and it goes in the extreme to the other side. I know what happens. Okay, it sets like a week's away. It delays, it takes, it removes, it takes time away from my life. Okay? So what I need to do is when the trade goes against me, I need to say, hey, look, I'm tapped out. This is it. I'm out right here. I don't need to find out where the bottom is. I don't need to know where it comes back and moves back up. Okay? If it goes up to a certain point and it starts to reverse, I need to say to myself, hey, could this be the point where it's not going to reach my limit, but it's going to go up to a certain point and it's going to start retracing? I have to say that to myself. That's how trade evolves. So once I enter and then I'm in the trade, then I need to trade management. I need to manage my trade. It's very, very important. Otherwise, the trade could go against me and it keeps going, and if I don't have my stop loss set and my trade management set up properly, which is part of the management, then it's going to severely handicap my trading account. It's going to limit my ability to reach my target on the next day. All I have to do is when I make a trade, I don't have to hang on to that particular trade, even though my personal account is essentially a one-shot deal because I can only cycle the money just once, right? But in my FTMO account, I can just enter and exit, and I can do that as many times as possible. And I need to be aware of the fact that if I overtrade, then that could cause the account to just bleed off like that. So What I need to do is that's the trade, okay? A trade. A trade is that. A single trade. Focus on single, make the right trade. Right trade. Make the right trade. Every time. On the personal account, just make the right trade, follow step by step, and just forget about it and let things happen. Let things happen based on the setup. Let things happen. Let it happen.